Today I'm going to be talking to you about how I made a retaining wall on a higher level track on my layout. So welcome to my railway, which is called Edge Hay and Strines. My name is Carol Flavin and I am a railway modeller. Hello, I'm Carol Flavin. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made a retaining wall on my layout on a higher level track that I added at a later stage. When I expanded my L-shaped layout to a square, around about end of February-ish in 2020, my grandchildren were still around at that stage, and we properly planned out how we were going to incorporate the existing track into all the new track. But that was all at a lower level. Now, because the kids like to drive trains round all sorts of different directions and in different places, through tunnels, out of tunnels and so on, the track ended up a bit windy, which is fine because that's what they enjoy. But my husband has a few trains, locomotives, that are older, longer and didn't like the curves. So I decided to put a higher level track in. This ended up quite a challenge, but a great deal of fun. I like challenges. So this today is a video about how I made the retaining wall, the long retaining wall. I hope you find it interesting. There are other videos about how I made the other parts of this higher level track. Hope you enjoy it. This short clip shows you what the layout was like before I built the retaining wall. This is once the retaining wall was in place, and it's prior to my being in a position where I was going to landscape it and turn it into something realistic. In order to create my embankments, I use this product, which is Woodland Scenics risers. This one in the background here is the 2-inch one. That's completely flat. But I then put on top of it one of their inclines, and they do all the calculations for you. So when you add an incline, you know that that incline is going to rise up at a gradient that the locomotives can ride round the track on. Once you've stuck it down in place, clearly I was going to need to use something to hide it, which is where I use the Metcalfe dressed stone. And I'll show you separately how I use that to make it look effective. On the top, I decided I was going to use Woodland Scenics track bed. Now, the track bed is like a foam, almost rubberized base for your trains to sit on, and it sticks on the top. In between the top of this and the track bed, I used plaster bandage, which once it was dry I painted black. You stick the track bed down using their foam tack glue. I then made the whole embankment, which rises up very gently left to right, look like a proper retaining wall rather than pieces of foam and plastic. I kept a small corner to be able to show you how I made the retaining walls. I use Metcalfe's builder's sheets, the stonework, and I've also got the cobblestones. I took a sheet of the stonework, the thinner piece of card, put it into place and drew a line across the top of it. Right, I'm ready to show you how I put together the retaining walls that are on the far side of the layout. First thing is I've used one of the thinner sheets of Metcalfe builders sheets, and it's the stone one, the dressed stone one. Always use that bit at the bottom because that's where the base of it is. If I turn it over, you can see the line that you've seen me cut on the far side that fits the line of it, and I needed just a pair of scissors to cut that. So if I just draw it, I'll just cut it straight across, it will fit, and I can always trim anything that looks slightly wrong. So that now fits the line of the retaining wall. Then I need an upright. Now I make the uprights relatively thin with foam board, and what I've done is cut the slightly thicker version of the builder's sheets, the dress stone ones, or the Metcalfe ones, and I've scored either side. So I've done it so you can see it there. And then all I do is I stick that in position, fold that round it, and that makes the upright, which is then stuck into place. And I've got two bits of card here that will form the something that throws the water off the top of it. Now, I'm actually going to do a fence on this last section, but the rest of it I created a wall. So the wall, again, black foam board, bit of card, this is the lighter weight card, again scored so that it wraps around it like that. That makes the wall. It obviously needs weathering, but I would stick that on with Mod Podge. That then goes at the top here. Now, I would push it slightly onto the rail track to keep it out the way. But that then is tidied up with this piece of the cobblestone, which is another of the Metcalfes. That then sits there, hides any joins. And of course the uprights sit on the joins that are where the card finishes, there. Bit of boss stick in case I need it, Mod Podge to put on it, few tools, and that's all I need. I stuck the stone sheet in place with Mod Podge and used some of the pins to hold it into place. I put the upright in and I put the fences in I wanted, and I also used the cobblestone to hide the gap. Then I was ready to weather. These are some of the products that I used to do the weathering. They range from Javis to Woodland Scenics to Pico. There are others. Bear in mind I'm not sponsored, so this is what I had in my cupboard and what I've been using. Also, I collect little bushes that I will be able to use at some point wherever I feel like it. To show you how I weathered this, I use the time-lapse function on my phone. I've used a number of different products to create the weathered look. I use boss stick because it's a quick drying process, and I use the various products to create the look of a weathered, well-worn, well-used piece of walling. I needed a bridge in the retaining wall for where the road goes off from the village and underneath the retaining wall. I was lucky to get this and another one that I've used over on the viaduct, boxed, ready-made, laser cut bridge, two of them, very cheaply. The bridges are made by a company called Modulux, Modelux. And I have to say, I think they're very attractive, and I'm absolutely delighted to be able to use them on my layout. Slowly but surely, I will be putting some more videos up on my YouTube channel. If they don't go there first, or they don't go there straight away, it's because they're going to be used on one or two of the virtual exhibitions that are going to take place during the early parts of 2021, because basically model railway exhibitions aren't going to be taking place for a while yet. I'm also doing a video on railway arches and a large high embankment with a station on the top. I've got a viaduct, I've got an industrial area. They're actually finished and I'm working on those videos at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you found something useful in it, something that you might be able to use in your own layout. If you did, please like, share, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Model Railway Scenics with Carol Flavin. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.